Hello, my friends. I'm with co-founder of the Lumina Guild, Hua, and we're here today to talk about soul currency. And we're going to work with this statement, you are the value that you're here to restore. But before we go there, I have to activate Instagram and see if it works. Ah, it's working! Cool, we're live. So let me navigate back here. Hua and I were just talking before coming on live with you about this topic. And one of the things that we were talking about is that it's knowledge and information isn't really scarce anymore. We can especially with AI, we can access all kinds of knowledge and information at any point in time. And one of the things that I've seen as a creator in the digital community is that this idea of this sort of promise, I guess, that if you consume the right content, purchase the right course, learn the right funnel or strategy or whatever, that then you'll be able to have whatever that thing is that you want. That is, it's really not, it's, it's not that there isn't truth to it, but it doesn't really yield the results that are satisfying to humans like, at least like us here. And I'm wondering about anyone who's listening, that what your journey's been like with this. So Hua, I'll pass it off to you, whatever you want to lead off with connected to this context, and then let's explore together over the next 15 minutes.
I find it really fascinating, the concept of soul currency. What is really the value of our soul? What is it? Can you talk a bit more about that?
Yeah, actually, I'm glad you said that because I meant to read the Facet. So in the Lumina Guild, every month, part of the structure that we have is a facet of value. And it's really a statement of higher truth and a contemplative soup pot for us. And so I'm going to read you the facet for this month of January, which is the facet of soul currency. So you are the value you are here to restore. Currency is not a number. It's your attention, presence, creative essence, and alignment. Obviously, we have currency. We have money that is not it's not going anywhere, but there are very real shifts happening in relationship to what we understand as money and also what we understand as the value that we're here to bring or here to experience. And so you asked the question, Hua, about soul currency. I mean, if I was just to answer it with what's emergent for me right now, it's authenticity. It's like when I'm present with another human soul who is being real and raw, and by raw I don't mean uh, uncouth or something. I just mean choosing not to polish oneself in order to be acceptable or pleasing, but rather just showing up as you are, being the embodiment of the value. Because the thing is, there's no other human in the world like you. There's only one of you in this whole world. There's only one of me. And my soul has a unique note. It sings. It has a unique vibration. It has a unique resonance. And that is, that's the ultimate value. It's also the way in which, through my soul, is the way in which I can perceive and receive value that's healthy and without distortion.
As you were talking, I think I was just reflecting how much have we kind of externalized value in this day. So we have money, that determination of value, we have gold, we have, I don't know, how big one's house is, what car one's drive, is all very much externalized. Whereas all the conversations, all the reflection that you've been talking about through the transmission of the facet is really about internalizing it, is bring it back deep to the core, which is the resonance of the soul, and how to embody that authentically in the way we show up is really how we radiate our own unique value to the world, really.
Oh, that's so beautifully said. I just had a flash when you were talking. Um, it's something that keeps happening to me in the work that I do with creators and leaders is, um, actually, I'm just going to share this little story because it's pointing to it. I uh, for the previous 2 years, I facilitated a mastermind group, so calling together a group of very aware, high level humans and coming into this container that we called a mastermind so that we could be sort of stimulated and sparked and clarified in what it is that we're doing and creating together, individually and together. And the mastermind that I had last year, it was so interesting because I've been feeling I've been in the digital creation realms for over 20 years, just over 20 years, 21 years. So I've seen it go through this whole evolution, and I could feel the evolution that we're in the midst of now, which is like a great turning. It's not that the digital world's going anywhere. It's actually just expanding, but people's relationship to it is changing dramatically. And I couldn't, in integrity, uh, sort of hold up as the ideal to these creators in my mastermind that they just needed to create this digital course or understand their messaging perfectly or figure out the right funnel or the right X, Y, and Z strategy, all these things that I know how to do and I've done in my past. But I'm recognizing that those aren't the things that are going to actually take them and us to where we want to go, because it's not about getting it right. It's not about getting it right anymore. It's about being yourself. And and as long as we're trying to get ourselves right, the conundrum is that we're no longer then in authentic flow. We are self-censoring or we're contorting or we're trying to please, all these things that feel so uncomfortable to souls like us. And so once we realize that this is true, and it is, then everything gets flipped upside down. And if you get very real and honest with yourself and see that it's flipped upside down, then what becomes more important aren't the answers to questions. What becomes more important is the question itself or the questions themselves. I don't actually know if that answered a question that you asked, but that was what came through me when I heard you speak.
What came through, what came through to me is from the word question. It's like a quest. Life is like a quest where we go through all these challenges and life throws a curveball. It's like I'm thinking about a video game right now. You're
Mm,
kind of going through it and an obstacle you have to jump through. But in this case, an obstacle is just our own mind, our own perception, our own perception
mm,
of ourselves, own perceptions of the world, and how we need to like remove those obstacles and get get in the way of ourselves showing our own light. And the
mm,
quest is really coming back to uncovering, restoring that authenticity. And that
mm,
is where we restore the soul currency
mm.
and our true value.
Ooh, I like this word restore. It's like part of what we've been experiencing in the Lumina Guild with ourselves and also with the other mm, co-creators, the other members in the guild, is that we're it's like we're remembering who we really are, and we're also reimagining what's possible as we permission ourselves more and more to just show up. To like just show up and be ourselves. And I know I'm making it sound easy, and I realize that this can be challenging, but just show up, be ourselves, and trust the process of emergent revelation. So to give an example, like if I had an agenda of exactly what I wanted to say in this conversation with Hua in order to sound cool or so that you would think I was cool, so that I had the right answers, etc., I would like actually literally not be able to access my emergent self, which is the fresh, effervescing, authentic essence of Tiffany coming through. Now, if I do give myself permission, as I do, and this is what I practice every day, to be my emergent authentic self, then I'm also trusting and learning to trust that my genius, everything that all of my life and perhaps lifetimes have caused me to know and understand and embody and want and prefer, that all is here. It doesn't go anywhere. And I don't, the trick of the mind is that if we somehow become a certain person or look a certain way, that then we'll be able to have. And what we're saying is, no, the value is already here. It's your soul. It's in your emergent essence, and you get to discover it as you put yourselves in positions where you are emergently expressing. Like I'm experiencing it right now with you.
And that process of connecting to the soul, embodying the soul, restoring that value is really a muscle memory.
Say more.
So the
Like
more
that.
you do it, the more it becomes natural.
Yeah.
And that is really like the creative immersion process of Lumina Guild.
Mm.
Is not teaching you what to be done, but it
Mm.
is helping you to establish that connection, filling in that frequency. And as we keep doing it and keep doing it, and everyone around you keep doing it in the community, it becomes just second nature. And it
Normal.
and then your soul just become present and connected in every single creative activity that you engage in on a daily basis. Isn't that cool?
I mean, beyond. I mean, I think that that's what heaven on earth is, honestly. To be able to be yourself, dancing and creating and co-creating with others with the embodied experience of authorship,
Mm.
not at the disempowered whim of whatever and reacting to whatever. There's so much to react to that if we, let's see if I want to go there. I just love everything you just said so much, and I want to uh, amplify one part of it. This is something that we were talking about before we started recording, which is the creating the conditions, which is what we're doing in Lumina Guild. That when we put our energy into creating the conditions to practice this emergent way of being, then that's where the payoff is, because that's where we get to see the the value of our unique human essence reflected back to us and sort of playing in the game of that with other humans. And when I say, and I know you live this way too, was it, I mean, I'm human and I have all the human challenges and everything, and my life's not always a delightful, magical unfolding, but my life most of the time is. Most of the time. And most of the time, the way that things come together and unfold for me is it's so magical, abundant, and
Mm.
extraordinary that a lot of people like don't believe me. But the thing is, this is I know this is how we were created to live. And the conditions, choosing to put yourself in the conditions where more of that can happen, I think is uh it's the I don't want to say that. Choosing to put yourself in the conditions where you can experience more of this for yourself is basically like lining up your actions and your choice with what you say you really want in
Mm.
life.
And when you align your action and choice with what you really want, what's, of course, like challenge comes up, but what's the worst that can happen?
Mm,
It feels amazing. You get lots of joy out of it. It's
mm.
true joy coming from the soul.
Oh my gosh, it's so true.
And it's so humble to not only experience the process inside Living Guild first-handed for myself, but it's truly humble to witness all the human beings going through this emergence process of restoring to who they truly are and stepping up, stepping out, removing what's in the way,
Mm,
and really living their highest calling. And that is, to me, is like the most humble thing happening inside of the McGill that I get to witness over and over and over again.
Hmm. I'm so curious why you choose the word humble there. I feel something sweet there, and I wonder if you can speak to it for a minute as we come into closing.
It's just, it's, I don't know, I chose the word humble because, yes, it's a celebration, but it is something that is so deep, like a joy of my soul that is so deep within that that I feel happy and joyful to witness. But at the same time, it's much deeper than that happiness.
Mm. Yeah. Are you saying like the experience of it is humbling?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think there's something important there you're feeling.
I
I'm
can't
just,
quite name it, but
yeah,
it's a quiet joy that is very deep inside my heart.
yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's kind of like an unmistakable but quiet, yes, reconciliation with the truth of who you are and why you're
Yeah.
here. And then when you actually feel and find that you're living that out in real time and that you've made choices or a series of choices that are creating the conditions so that you can live that out in real time. It's not that it's not exciting, but it's not like, whoa, it's so exciting. I can hardly believe it. It's like, oh, yes, this is correct.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes, this is what I've asked for. Oh, yes, it's here. It's arrived. Oh, yes, I'm participating now. And I
Mm-hmm.
feel that energy that you're pointing to about humility there. Is that what, does that feel true?
Yes, yes, yes.
Hmm.
That is exactly it.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. I like that too because it's like at least most of the people that I know, they're kind of done with all the hype and the overpromising, and um, I think those days are done. And so, but there are promises. We could say maybe promises within the Lumina Guild. I don't know if we quite use those words. Actually, we do use those words sometimes, but it has more to do with um, less to do with something that you need to prove in order to get. So it's not that dynamic anymore. It's everything that unfolds in relationship to the promises are directly connected to your each human soul's chosen capacity to be present, to
Mm.
show up, and to engage. So it's very grounded. It's very, I mean, there's nothing ungrounded about what I just said. It's very real.
Mm.
All right, coming into closing, is there anything you feel you want to offer for wisdom, practice, etc., in relationship to this?
I think every day as I log into my computer and start working on Lumina Guild, I bring up the facet and I read it and I just kind of immerse myself in the facet and immerse myself in the energy. So I encourage everyone to just contemplate on this concept. It's so deep. It
Hmm.
deeper and goes beyond the human mind.
Mm.
So I think I just ask everyone to contemplate, and if you have any special contemplation, put it into the comment section.
Oh, I'd love that too. Yeah, and so the contemplation being this idea, this concept of soul currency, and that
Mm.
you are the value that you're here to restore. Just sit with that. And yes, we'd love to hear from you. And as always, you can check us out in the Lumina Guild. We have some beautiful things happening in 2026 in there, and we'd love to participate in them with you. Well, it was a pleasure to be with you today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. Okay. Mwah.